and he was found guilty, thus he was sent to jail. And the period of Hazrat Ali was one of the periods where justice prevailed a lot. Justice is a very important function of the state, and the governance is to depart justice to the people, poor and needy, to be protected. It's one of the important functions of the state. In this world, people would move from one court to another court for justice, even for a small cause, and it would take years for them to find justice. But in Islam, a system of justice is devised that, if followed properly, there is justice for all in short span of time. No financial burden on the people, nor a place of bribery. Hazrat Ali alayhi salam gave special attention to Department of Justice. He constituted courts on prominent places. He appointed Qazis only who were honest, have integrity, piety and knowledge about Islamic law and jurisprudence. Hazrat Ali alayhi salam himself served as a Qazi at the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He had provided sufficient compensation to the Qazis, keeping human weakness in mind. Qazis were checked regularly and strict vigilance on their activities and day-to-day life. Hazrat Ali alayhi salam was particular about departing justice equally to Muslim or be it a non-Muslim. In order to have a check on the Qazis and I quote what he said, when any important matter comes on with the ummahs of the Muslim, he said, beware, and I quote, do not pass any verdict on cases of qiyas or the matters requiring divine justice about the rights of Muslim before referring them to me. In any state, biggest responsibility of the Khalifa is to protect the rights of the people. Hazrat Ali alayhi salam was protector of human rights, human values. The basic rights which were protected by Hazrat Ali alayhi salam was the right to live, the right of thought, the right of action, and the right of racial equality. For development of any state, the economic system is of supreme importance. Nowadays, in the world of capitalist and socialist movement, it is an action or either of them have not solved the real economic problems of the people. The Islamic economic system provides solutions to all economic problems. The system is propounded by Allah and presented by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Islamic economic system propounded and shows the interest collectively of the entire ummah. Hazrat Ali alayhi salam thought and brought ruling class and common people on the same level. Hazrat Ali spent all his life in the same level as that of the poorest of the poor. His standard of life, food, etc. were of a poor person standard. In his eye, rich and poor should be on the same pedestal, and the gap between the rich and the poor should be narrowed. Thus he said in Nahjul Balagha, and I quote, Allah has kept the sustenance of the poor in the wealth of the rich. If a beggar starves, it is because a rich person has hoarded wealth, and Allah is going to seek account of it from that day. Close quote. Hazrat Ali's time, beside the freedom of trade, resources were owned by the people. Everyone were free to adopt any professions, trading, handicraft, agriculture, etc. He did not like people sitting in home doing nothing and becoming burden on the society, especially the young people. However, if some people with disability was supported, and they were supported by the Baitul Mal, he has encouraged people to do trading and agriculture. Hazrat Ali used to keep watch on trading community to ensure that they did not inflate the prices. He used to inquire the selling prices of different products himself. Whenever he had time, Hazrat Ali alayhi salam used to sit at his friend's shop, Ammar ibn Yasir's, of dates. He used to sell dates. He never felt belittled doing this work. And any state cannot be run without the Baitul Mal or without the treasuries, without the finance. So Baitul Mal plays a very important role during the times of Hazrat Ali alayhi salam. And he has shown that what a ruler has to do and how he has to protect the Baitul Mal. During the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Baitul Mal was not formed. After passing away of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when Rome and Persia were conquered, treasures were brought to Medina. Thus the Baitul Mal was created. When Hazrat Ali alayhi salam took over control of Baitul Mal, according to the practices of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he arranged distribution of funds in the city where they have received. If funds left were sent to Medina to be distributed, instead of retaining Baitul Mal, all such distribution of money was done very fast and on the days of Friday. Hazrat Ali alayhi salam would sweep the floor of the premises with his own eyes and would offer 2 rakats prostration of thanks given to Allah. Abdul Bar writes in a quote, Ali alayhi salam did not allow it to happen that he spent a night and funds would remain in Baitul Mal. He used to distribute the funds before the night falls. If some other important thing came in the way, he would keep it for tomorrow. Ali alayhi salam believed in the share of big, small, Quraysh and others inequality. Same in the eyes of Baitul Mal. He never made any discrimination based on the basis of color, descent, nationality. Hazrat Ali alayhi salam's sense of justice and equality did not permit him to give any preference to relationships to change the norms of distribution of funds of the Baitul Mal. He used to buy his own requirements of grains from the bazaar of Medina and did not take it from the Baitul Mal, although he was entitled to it. Some money used to come from zakat, which is a tax prescribed in Islam, applicable on wheat, barley, dates, raisins, gold, silver, cattle, goats, sheep and camel. And it's mandatory for every Muslim at a prescribed rate. The purpose of zakat is to help poor and needy, that none in the society remains helpless. One important function of zakat is that the wealth does not stay in the hands of few. Hazrat Ali alayhi salam started the department of zakat during his time. Only those people who were appointed to collect zakat who were pious and honest. If people said zakat was not applicable to them, they were not questioned. Hazrat Ali was of the opinion and in favor of non-force in the matter of collection of zakat. He used zakat money only on the heads described by Holy Quran and never mixed it for the other requirements of the states. And during his time of 4.5 years, Hazrat Ali has laid down the boundaries for the people of the state. Norms fixed by Hazrat Ali alayhi salam to the citizens are different from the present day governments. Hazrat Ali said the basic principle of society is justice and fair play. This maintains balance between the powerful and the weak. He said, do to others as one wishes others to do with you. He went on and propounded, people must refrain from prejudice as it creates hatred. Be kind to weak, he said. This kindness will bring the source of Allah's blessing on you. Do not gossip about others and do not go around announcing it to others. Trust other Muslims. If one does not trust others, he is not to be trusted either, he said. And he propounded, do not deny rights of others. Meet needy people and be kind to them and help them. Thus, reform of societies depend on reforms of individuals. If they adopt the right path, society will flourish. If individuals adopt evil, then that will affect the society. Hazrat Ali alayhi salam cared for the orphans, for widows, for poor. Hazrat Ali believed in that the Imam is the father of the orphans. He loved and the treatment towards orphans was such that they used to forget that they are real orphans. He always took care of the widows and other women. If they needed money, he provided them. If they needed support, he supported them. Once Hazrat Ali was coming out of a mosque, saw a woman crying. Hazrat Ali went to her and asked what was the reason she was crying. And she said that her husband was very cruel to her and her life is not good. Just imagine being a Khalifa. Hazrat Ali went with that woman to her house and spoke to the husband, met him and told him the importance of respect of women and what would he get in Jannah if he respects and be kind to his wife. He obeyed the Imam and even told the wife be obedient and obey her husband. Hazrat Ali alayhi salam took great care of slaves. He used to spend his hard-earned money for their freedom of support. We do not find any leader today of this class who is freeing the slaves and working hard on him. Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam said, and I quote, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam got release of 1,000 slaves with the money earned through his hard work. Close quote. His treatment of captives with care and never put anyone in captivity as a revenge. If captives were poor, their families were taken care by the Baitul Mal. Hazrat Ali alayhi salam never put the prisoners in dungeons. As Sheikh Al-Adin writes, and I quote, in Islam the first to build a jail was Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam, and the others used to throw them into the well. Close quote. Hazrat Ali alayhi salam during his short period did a lot of general welfare works for the people and society. He got wells excavated in Medina, Kufa and Basra, constructed roads between Makkah and Kufa. On these roads, wells were excavated for the travelers. He made places for stray animals too. Hazrat Ali dug several wells with his own hands and planted gardens and gave them to poor Muslims. He gave special attention in building mosques. He constructed the Masjid al-Fatah in Medina and Mikhat in Kufa, Basra and Abadan. It is very difficult to put the total governance of Hazrat Ali in this short period and its short presentation. I would like to sum up the governance of Hazrat Ali alayhi salam and conclude by saying that Hazrat Ali alayhi salam's governance in short period of time was marked by a lot of troubles and unrest. His period also witnessed warfare that did not allow him for much expansion, but Hazrat Ali faced all odds with courage and equanimity. His governance was excellent, but not only loved by people who were corrupt, disobedient and wealthy class. His governance was based on Islamic values. He never deviated from it at any cost. He would not compromise on the interest of people and never appease the elite class. Hazrat Ali alayhi salam was following strict principles of equitable distribution. He gave prime importance to law and justice. The selection of all big functionaries were based on piety, truth and the faith on Allah. Despite all forces in operation, Hazrat Ali alayhi salam carried out governance which reflects his strong belief in God, the Quran and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and has set an example to the modern world who should be the young leader or who should be your leader and how to run your state with honor, truth, equality and justice. Hazrat Ali alayhi salam practically exhibited that society must build on the foundations of unshakable principles of Quran. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.